And welcome back everybody to the secret world. This is Soulkrist playing Soulkrist. We're going to jump right into it, so let's turn in this quest, which was to come to KingsMOUTH. You're not in Kansas anymore, Toto. It's worse, you're in Maine. Not even a tornado can kill the wicked witches in this place. I heard rumors that there might be someone there to meet you, someone who used to work for us. You can listen to him, just don't trust him. Old cowboys have ulterior motives. Good moving, just follow the zombie prick road. Crafty. And so we're going to get experience. We're going to get this headpiece, which is ashes. We will equip it immediately because I do enjoy that health and attack rating. Also for this Agartha conduit, you just want to right click it and it puts it right in your inventory, right here, Shift T, where we can just go straight to Agartha. These things are unlocked through membership apparently. That's fine. That's cool. Or at least some are unlocked through membership, some are unlocked elsewhere. I click on this and make it go away. It's just a help menu. We don't need it. So we're going to cut into a little cutscene real quick.
Oh, don't worry, kid. You haven't gone back in time. I just happen to be the last of the cowboys.
Boy, tell you
Got
what.
your southern welcome right here. Mesquite beans, Texas style. Good ought to face evil on a full stomach. Name's Boone. I'm a troubleshooter. You and I need to have a powwow before you go shooting for trouble. Illuminati may have legacy on Solomon Island, but you folks gave that up for the high life and the low road. Sure, you can be divided in purpose, but we gotta stand united against darkness. This ain't my first rodeo. I know we're gonna need all the unity we can get. Don't mean to say you stepped into hell, but when the wind blows west, you can just about smell the brimstone.
We'll get to that in a little while.
All we know is death and fog came from the sea, or someone brought it back with them. If I was a gambling man, I'd put money on that someone still being around. Bunch of survivors holed up in KingsMOUTH town. Follow that main road and the sound of gunfire, you'll come to the sheriff's office. Kid, whatever your reasons for being here, you find out what those people died for, and you bring a reckoning.
Looks more like he's looking at us, the player, than our character. So if you click on the little chat bubble, you can actually find out more about himself, about Solomon Island, about Illuminati. I'm going to leave that to you, actually. Let's pick up some lore real quick. That's just right behind his tent. Man, that voice acting, isn't it just fantastic? The answer is yes, it is fantastic. So let's pick up a quest from old Jack Boone. For a fistful of zombies. And oftentimes quests are puns or play on words or throwbacks to something else. Can't remember exactly what this is a pun to, but I know it's in relation to something. If you know it, tell me. So, Jack Boone has a zombie problem. He shoots them, but they keep coming back. Finding out more about the zombies, what makes them tick, could go a long way towards solving that problem. Alright?
This forest crawls. Gets my fingers itching for two matters. One, the other, figuring out a way to keep them down. It ain't right the way the dead walk the earth. They deserve their 6 feet, same as everyone else. I've sworn to keeping guard here, and you've got places to be. But nothing's stopping you from culling the herd as you go. Hell, figure out what makes them tick and how to make that ticking stop. And I'll buy you a beer at the apocalypse.
Ooh, do you have
so go on,
beer?
kid. Saddle up. The end of the world waits for no man.
It waits for me. Not her, though. Wow, that was a good shot. I was about to talk and I burped, I'm sorry. So I took my finger off the push start. You're welcome. Let's kill these fresh standees. Bang bang, pew 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 pew, America. Blow him up, Travis. Oh, good shot. Combustion is quite a powerful stuff. See, it'll one-shot them, which is fantastic. So we're on tier 2. Jump on a car to trigger alarms. And quests are in tiers in this game, so it's a nice way to know what to do next. And it can, oh wow, that's a lot. Let's jump away from it. So it's a nice way to kind of, you know, keeps your progress, keeps things a little fresh, as well as if you want to see, you know, what previous stuff were, you can just click on the quest log and go into it by clicking on the right side of your screen. You see we got a little achievement flash. That is, we've killed 10 zombies. The final achievement for all killings are 10,000 for each type, and each one gives you a title. If you do this one, you get Romero, for, I would hope, obvious reasons. And if it's not an obvious reason, it's because he's a horror film director, and zombies are kind of the icon of horror films, and he pretty much does a lot of zombie stuff. You're welcome. Now see, we just learned that if we jump on cars, mind you, ones that have alarms, meaning they have a flashing red light on them like so, it will call zombies. Now we need to use a can of gasoline to burn them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just call a horde to us right like this. And so we just got to make them run through the fire and we get credit. And yeah, we're burning some, and this is pretty much teaching you that environmental hazards essentially can be utilized, but they can also hurt you. So, you know, be careful. As you go throughout the game, some of the environmental hazards are more dangerous. Okay, now tier 4, examine the half-eaten corpses. I was trying to show a buddy how to play this game, and he couldn't grasp this quest. He's like sitting there, he's like, oh, that looks like a half-eaten corpse. I'm like, no, it's a zombie. I was like, hey, look for ones that are eating, and then see what they're eating after you kill them. And bam, look at that, it is a corpse. And apparently it is exactly half-eaten. Kind of like Ben Bailey's skit. They beat him half to death. How do you know? Did like you do the exact same beating and he didn't die till the very end? And this is why the screen shook earlier as well. Someone else had summoned the corpse. Oh my god, don't care. I think that only happens once in the game. Maybe I think it happens at every login actually, which isn't bad, but it doesn't normally pop up at random like that. So that was very strange. It's just saying, hey, you subscribe, you get experience faster, you get more gold. It's called packs for mana. We're gonna pick up this bolts for Andy. A note in the dead policeman's hand asks him to get more ammunition, then return to the sheriff's office ASAP. This policeman obviously can't return, but the ammo is still direly needed. All right, accept it. And then you want to go into the back of the truck and pick up the ammo. As I was saying, there are subscriptions to this game. I don't have one. I don't feel a need for one. There are expansions to the game. I believe the way Funcom, which is the company that does this game, makes is only the most recent 3 have to be purchased. So let's say the 3 you have to purchase right now, one more expansion comes out. You know, the earliest one that was paid for now is free kind of thing. But if you're a subscriber, you have access to all of them. When we get farther in the game, I will likely subscribe, because that will actually be cheaper than buying the expansions on their own. But you also get experience boosts, and I don't want to level as fast. I see we're getting achievements for discovering places, for other stuff. But let's turn this quest, yeah? Good job. Your findings fit with what we know about the reanimated dead. They're a total bitch. I should learn to read out loud. You should have no trouble outfitting them tactically. Outwitting. We're familiar with 2 types. The recent dead are quicker. The long buried show less spunk, but pose a more significant number of problems. The big breed, the corpse scourger, that's not an aberration we've seen before. Either that was the captain of the football team, or we're dealing with some form of mutation. Chow chow, and you can guess who says chow chow. And look, we're gonna get tacos. They increase penetration rating by 10 for 20 minutes. Penetration essentially gets through someone's block and guard. We're gonna snag a new weapon. I'm gonna take an elemental focus because Stone Cold said so. And you see right here, requires elemental skill rank 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into our skills, which I access through pressing K. And I'm going to go into elemental right here. And I'm going to put one into damage. And what this will do is not only allow me to use higher level gear, but your elemental abilities have a 25% chance to deal 7 magic damage to 6 enemies around them. So it gives us a chance at a small dot. So I'm going to equip that. I'm going to just throw... Actually, does it sell? Yeah, I don't think this can sell for anything, so I'm just going to ditch it. You can't disassemble it or anything. Go to the Sheriff's Office in KingsMOUTH. We'll do that in a bit, because I like to do... Actually, no, we'll go there now, because I don't want to see it on my screen. Cutscene.
Heck if I know where you folks keep coming from, but anyone who walks through that door alive pretty much gets my amnesty. Something in your past colors you sourly to a badge, I'd ask you to call it quits in return. We agreeable? Well then, I'm Sheriff Bannerman, and this down-home little state of emergency is what's left of my jurisdiction. Sure, we tried to hold as much of the town as we could at first, more out of nostalgia than any civil defense plan. I won't tell you KingsMOUTH was a slice of heaven in a snow globe, but it was ours. Now it ain't. There was always something running under in this town. Maybe what's spilled out now. If that's how it works, I couldn't say hand on heart we didn't have it coming. But that fog, and the things in it, they didn't pick and choose when they came in. Most folks didn't stand a chance.
Looks good, yeah.
Now, I can see you're armed. I won't kick up any fuss about that. Straight truth is, you'll need to be. Just don't go thinking that means you're deputized as such. Heaven knows if there was ever a time and a place for the right to bear 'em, you're looking at it. Henry has his word of God, that Roger woman has her crystal ball, and Norma out on the point's got a 12 gauge. My money's on Norma.
Yeah, Norma's a baller. That old woman's got spunk. So that is part of the main story quest, which for Solomon Island is called Dawning of an Endless Night. When we get to Egypt, it has a different name. When we get to Transylvania, it has a different name. 2 out of 18. If we were to bum rush it right now, we would get destroyed around tier 7 or 8 because we would just be severely out-leveled by the game. What the game wants you to do is do this in tandem with other quests that people have to offer. I always pick up this one right here, Missing Persons List. Shut up, Sheriff. I'm going to pick it up even though it says hard, and I said that that gives you lesser experience. That's 35,000. I'm not going to finish it, though, until it goes down a little bit. And the way that'll be will be through leveling. So I'm also going to, when you open up the leveling things for the first time, by the way, it shows you a video on how to do it. So right now I'm just going to buy everything in the elemental side because certain things I want are in these lower tiers and you cannot access any of these lower ones until both of these of its quadrant are done. I shouldn't say quadrant because there's far more than 4, but section, sector, whatever you want to say. So what I did get, I guess I should say, I got something that makes combustion 0.5 seconds faster. I also got Electrical Storm, which I don't really like, but hey, it's an AoE. I'm going to put it over here because that's bound to my Y key, which is actually bound to a button on my mouse. So it'll be nice. Okay, I don't know why that's happening. And I hope you don't hear my phone buzzing. I apologize if you do. But I like to go up here and do Andy's quests first. They're actually the easiest, so I think that's the best way to do it before they get the easy modifier. We also want to turn in the quest we got, Bullets for Andy. So we'll come here and use an ammo block. Send report. We're going to get Pax Romana, which is gold. We're going to get Black Bullions, which I will show you in a moment what those are, and we'll get a little bit of experience. Not a lot, but we'll get something. Before we do Andy, though, I'm going to do the first of the crafting quests, just so we can get new pistols, but that's about it. Okay, not that one, sorry. We don't want to talk to him. We want to do this. Zen and Art of Weapon Maintenance. Moose is handy with his hands, but he's only got 2 of them. Help him take apart a broken shotgun and use its parts to make something powerful and anew. So, I'm going to do a lot of crafting in this game, but this is the only time I'm really going to show it. To craft, you have to make shapes. We're going to go making a pistol, so remember this shape right here. It looks like a pistol. So what we do is you pick up the shotgun, you open up your assembly tool. I like to organize like this. You grab the shotgun, you put it at the bottom square, which is disassemble, and it will turn that into broken metal. So we got 7. We also need it in this box right in here to make anything, whether it's potions, talismans or weapons or glyphs, you need a corresponding toolkit. This is a weapon kit, so that's good. So I'm going to put that down there. And now if you hold onto this with your right button and then you left click where you want to place them, you will place them little by little. So we're going to make that same symbol we saw. And you see once we make the symbol, we have the toolkit in, take it off, it won't be there. We will make this Gardener Discount Specials. That is a funny name. Our current one is 51, you see on the far right, this one's 75. That is an upgrade, my friends. So what we're going to do is we're going to equip it. Wham bam, thank you Taco Man. And then apparently I didn't complete the quest somehow, so let me redo that real fast. Oh, I didn't read that. You have to do it in the right order for that because they expect you to not, know how to do it. There we go. I don't know why that happened. Maybe they want you to create 2 weapons. That'd be fine. So we're gonna get that. We get about 3,000 experience, which is not a lot. But hey, it's something that's out of the way, and that is how crafting works. I will do the rest of the crafting on my own, unless it's something really fast, but usually I take crafting a little slowly, so I can really weigh my options and pick out what is best. Also, now that I'm using Fraps to record, it doesn't have a timer like OBS does, so I have a neat little side clock to help me gauge these at about 30 minutes an episode. Any bigger, the files get really large and it takes forever to finish up. So let's start off with Andy. Deputy Andy Gardner is afraid the town will be completely overrun by monsters unless someone steps up and helps contain the undead invasions of KingsMOUTH.
Jeez, you never saw anything like this in the cop shows. Well, maybe on cable, not the network ones. You wouldn't know it from looking out there, but before that wicked bad fog rolled in, KingsMOUTH was a sleepy little burg.
I believe it.
Nothing stronger on the streets than a hot cup of coffee and chocolate-glazed donuts from Susie's. The occasional DUI or domestic disturbance. Human sacrifice. But every town has a dark side, right?
That was a weird thing sprinkled in.
We sure are getting a heaped help in the darkness now, eh? The Walking Dead and worse besides taking over our town. Us survivors hold up in here, hoping it's all just a bad dream and we'll wake up to the smell of bacon and maple syrup. But unless someone ups and does something, and soon, all we're gonna wake up to is the smell of rotten flesh. And I don't need another thing to remind me of my dad. Halloween does bring back the memories, eh?
Alright, so kill the ravenous horde around the sheriff's office. You see on the map we've got the red. One thing you'll see that we have main story quests, which is this blue. We have main quests, which are red. We have side missions, which are green, and dungeon missions, which are purple. They will appear on the map in their corresponding colors. I do find that to be quite fantastic. Yeah, I made it! And I don't believe there's fall damage, which is great. What the hell is on that one's head? What the hell is wrong with that one's head? We're like a helmet or something. Alright, we just need to kill 2 more. Bust gonna do the trick. Ah, get out of my face, homie. Now, defend the barricades at the north. We're at the north. You can see there's even a compass up here. Oh, look, now we're looking south. And cops will come out. Back in the original game, before it was patched and nerfed, you needed these cops, or else you killed very slowly. There was a severe nerf to this game, and it was actually one that was needed. Like, you know, everyone bitches and moans about WoW getting nerfed because it didn't need it. This game, just combat took too long. When a single combat with 1 to 2 enemies takes 20 to 30 seconds, that's excessive. It just made playing the game absurdly long, especially for one that, you know, isn't pay to play. So it's like, what is the meaning of elongating the leveling process, you know? So it was a very needed nerf, and it does scale. You know, as you get higher up in the game, the nerf seems to be less and less apparent. Death is very much an option while you play this game, which I think is fantastic. If you can't die in the middle of questing, the game is too easy. So we're going to go down the south now, and so I do love this game because it is, I mean, not just because, but one of the reasons is because it is challenging, especially as you go on. Dungeons are either hard or easy. There's not a whole lot of mid-ground, but they're usually easy because people just run them so much. If you run an elite dungeon, you're usually just going to kind of stomp through it, especially the first dungeon, but some other dungeons, they have very specific boss strategies that if you don't do properly, you're going to fail, even with a good tank. But being a good tank doesn't mean you have knowledge of every fight. It just means you know how to utilize your class. If you don't know how to approach a certain fight, well, that's bad news. These are AoE. It is doing quite well, actually. I have a very specific build I'm going for, by the way. It was inspired by one I found online, but I did make some tweaks to it, just to kind of fit how I wanted to play my character. But it is very, very powerful. It is a straight up DPS. It cannot heal, it cannot tank. But what it does is it revolves around hitting heavy as well as multiple small hits. Now we need to find the source of the assaults. So we're going to run down here. I'm going to turn on sprint. And what I mean by that is there's a spell called Manifestations, which are essentially the summons for this game, where you summon like a little totem in the ground pretty much. And I will be using the lightning one, where it will proc lightning damage every half second, I believe, maybe every second. And the way I will set my character up through passive is that every time I hit, I will put a dot on an enemy. Every time a dot procs, it will do direct damage to an enemy, and that procs the dot. So I've built this character. I will be building this character to essentially be doing 3 to 5 minor hits every second, and 5 minor hits really add up. So we got a big guy right there that looks straight out of a Cthulhu mythos, because it's, you know, we haven't used our guns for a bit, so let's do that. Let's build it up and use, let's get out of here and use shoot at. We are at 5, so let's bam at it. Its power is based on how many resources we have, and we win, because we're awesome. Sun report. This is interesting. We have no records of direct contact with the Drog, so your sightings in KingsMOUTH catches us a little off guard. Other factions have encountered them frequently at sea. Of course, file sharing isn't common practice in the industry. Here's what we know. The Drog are an ancient and marine variety of undead with roots in Norse mythology. They seem to be directing the local attacks. As for everything we don't know, well, that's where you come in. Ciao ciao. So we're going to get 23 grand. We're also going to get this necklace, which we cannot use yet, but we're going to be able to in just a moment. So what was that though? Oops, not B. B is browser. That was a major talisman. Okay, so K. We want to go into major right there. Put a point into that. I like to put a point in all of these, by the way, just one. What this does is head talisman passive is increased magic protection. Increased major talisman is increased max health, which is great. Get these things out of our way. And, oh yeah, let's equip it. Wham. Might as well toss that. And we're also going to pick this up. This postal van essentially, it takes you to quest hubs. Basically what that does. There are 3, you can return 2 more times, do a total of 3 quests for it. And they just take you to different quest hubs. And I will try to do them in the order of easiness so we get the most experience out of it. I don't want things to get the easy modifier on them, because then they become pushovers. So we did do Andes. We're going to go back to town and do another quest for Andy. I have no idea why I went in this direction. I apologize. Also, I will be doing some off-screen grinding from time to time because since I have another character with a lot of money and a lot of items, I'm going to be making Soulkrist some very powerful weapons that we're just going to try to utilize as soon as possible because having that advantage is quite helpful, especially when we get into dungeons. It's kind of like running in a dungeon in WoW. If you don't have heirloom dungeons, you are nerfing your party. So I'm actually going to call the episode here. I'm going to order some dinner, come in and make another video afterwards. When we come back, guys, we're going to do the second quest for Andy, which will be called Dragnet. Or Dragnet, you know. But until then, thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe, share with your friends. This was Soulkrist, and I will see you on the next episode of The Secret World.